Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of January 29th through February 4th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond what I'm telling you, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is a 9 of Pentacles, or discs, coins, or diamonds, perhaps. Let's put that into some context and see what we might have going on this week. Some good earth energy, some fire energy. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Let's go ahead and use the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. Becoming one of my favorite tarot decks. And it is pre-shuffled, but we're just going to take one randomly from the middle here. We're not going to look at it. No peeking until the very end of the reading, okay? And we're going to see how that might, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need right at the very end. So, we've got some water, some earth, some major, some fire, earth, air, a little bit more water. It seems like a pretty nice balance. I would hope that there'd be a little bit more major arcana cards here. Maybe this mystery card is a major arcana. But what we're looking at today, I think the central cards here, the very first one is that 9 of Pentacles, or discs, coins, diamonds. So I kind of think that a lot of what's going on this week is related to your physical environment, okay? It's related to how you are relating to your physical environment. And I think with the 9, this is showing that there's been a real focus, I think, with you on this feeling of restoration, okay? Could be literally you're restoring a car or renovating your house. Could be that you're really focused on health and wellness this week. You know, you're trying to kind of restore your physical vitality. I think this is also, in conjunction with, or as an alternative to that, focusing on restoring your finances. It's possible that you may have taken a little bit of a loss recently. And this could be, either health, wellness, fitness, or finances. Maybe you took a little bit of a loss. Maybe there was an injury or an illness, and you're trying to kind of restore yourself after that. Maybe there was some kind of a loss financially, and you're trying to restore the bank balance, so to speak. Okay? So I have this feeling of restoration that's coming in with you today. And I feel like generally you're someone who's very, very smart, very practical when it comes to the physical realm, okay? And we still could be talking health, we still could be talking wealth, but you're very smart about it. I think you have a very practical and pragmatic approach to things. I think you're very generous with your money or your energy, but not to the point that it really is, it starts to kind of take away from your security, your stability, okay? So I feel like you're always trying to take in more than you're giving out, okay? Literally and figuratively, energetically and financially, I guess. So you're someone that is very well organized. I think you're very practical when it comes to how much money or energy that you're expending and how much you're taking in, and you're trying to always stay in the black, I guess, where there's kind of this positive stream, And so I think this is kind of the focus this week, is trying to get this back in balance, because I feel like there was something that you took a little bit of a hit, a little bit of a loss recently with something. And the focus of the week is to try to bring things back to the right kind of balance for you. But at the same time, you're trying to still maintain your activity level, your lifestyle. You're trying to really not make too many changes, just being a little bit more frugal, a little bit more thrifty here and there, just to kind of start the flow in the other direction. You know what I mean? It's not drastic changes. It's not an absolute crisis. Again, there's no major arcana cards here. So I feel like it's just a lot of little decisions for you, a lot of kind of step-by-step work to achieve this restoration. All right. But I still feel like things are in a nice balance for you. I think that you have kind of a positive outlook on things. You're very optimistic in that way. And I think that you are just kind of slowly rebuilding things, again, whether this is physical, whether this is financial. I think that it's just a gradual building back up of these things. Okay, and that's kind of your mindset right now. That's the energy that I'm getting just right off the bat at the very start of this reading, is this slow building up of things. Okay, and what crosses your path this week is this Four of Pentacles. This, in some ways, is this kind of suggested to me that it might be like a home renovation. It might be, God forbid, that your home was damaged in something, okay? And it could be that you're really working to get this restored, to make these repairs. It could be that you have fallen to an injury or an illness recently, but you're recovering, right? There's this restorative energy still. So this Four of Pentacles is sometimes representing the home, but the home is, well, our first home really is our own bodies, right? And then secondarily, it could be the house that you live in, the apartment, the house, wherever you are, resting your head, basically. And then this is also the financial stability. But I see that there is a bit of a suspicion about things around you, or there's something that you're not quite accepting as truth. You know what I mean? I think the more this energy progresses, the more that you do this kind of gradual restorative process, right? I think you're starting to see that there was something going on that you didn't know about, that there was something working against you. Now, I don't know if this is a particular person. We have one court card in the reading, which we'll get to in just a moment. But you're starting to wonder if there wasn't something a little bit more devious going on here. Okay, involved in whatever this initial hit or this initial loss was. Again, physically, health, financially, with your wealth and that sort of thing. So there's this idea that you're kind of rebuilding the walls, and you're just kind of, now you're starting to wonder, was there something else that was kind of at the bottom of this? Was there some other hand involved in why you're now having to rebuild things or restore things, right? So this is kind of the feeling like the closer that you get to really completing this project or this restoration, the more you're starting to feel like, why do I have to be doing this restoration anyway? Why am I really rebuilding this? What really happened? Was there something else going on? Was there some unknown factor either that I could have prevented? Was somebody working against me? Was there something that I should have seen that could have prevented all of this, and you wouldn't be here now making this restoration, you know what I mean? Rebuilding these things. So it's starting to kind of isolate you a little bit, this feeling like it's almost like you don't know who to trust right now. Okay, so generally that's what I see for the week, that there is this process of restoration, but there's a little bit of suspicion creeping in. There's a little bit of this uncertainty on who you can trust or what the root causes of this thing really were. Okay, let's go to this recent past, the one court card that we have. Okay, recent past, I see this Princess of Cups. This might be someone younger than you, could be a feminine energy, could be someone close, friend, family member, could be someone that you began a relationship with or you just began a friendship with relatively recently. Okay, and for some reason I think that you kind of have your suspicions about this person. Maybe this was a short-lived relationship that didn't really end so well. You got a bad vibe about them. You kind of had to end things. Maybe this is a friend or a family member that recently came back into your life. Because I feel like this is someone that you've known for a long time, but in the same breath, it's a relationship that just started, right? it just started recently, and then maybe it had to end again. So could be that family member you haven't talked to in a while. They came back into your life. You decided to have another go with a connection, and it didn't work out again. And you just kind of had to stop that relationship. It could be someone that you've known for a long time. You just decided to start a romantic thing. That didn't last very long. Wasn't a good idea. Or it could be, the friend or family member that has kind of come back into the scene, and you decided to see where it goes this time around, right? So I don't know who that person is. They may be a water sign person. I don't like to, I'm trying not to be too adamant about their astrological sign, because for one thing, we all have a lot of placements in our astrological chart, right? There's at least 10, 12, 36 different placements in our chart. So by saying someone is a water sign, well, I don't know if that is going to be their rising sign, their solar sign, lunar sign, if it's going to be their Mercury, if it's going to be their Mars, you know what I mean? North node, south, whatever it may be, their Lilith. It's infinite, really. So by saying it's a water sign, I don't think that really helps you very much, okay? Unless you know this person as a water sign, like if that's kind of how you associate them. So that's why I say they could be. They could be a water sign person. But I feel like that's kind of who you have this little bit of doubt about. That you're in this position now, and you're wondering if it's because of them, right? Because I see that they're just kind of, they're in the background, they're kind of in the last few days, the last few weeks or something, and they appear innocent, by all means. Maybe they had nothing to do with anything, but there's the suspicion, there's the concern in you. Okay, and I don't know whether that's true or not. But what I'm feeling is there's the suspicion there, right? You're starting to think along those lines about that person. But I couldn't tell you yes or no if they were actually involved in anything, all right? What we see next is the Seven of Wands. This is above everything on the path of the dove here. I think this is really representing your willingness to fight on someone's behalf. I think that you have this really protective kind of energy about you. And maybe it links up with that water sign person, let's just call it the water sign person. Maybe it links up with them. But there's this really feeling, a strong kind of feeling with me, at least, that you protect other people in some way. Maybe you're in law enforcement, maybe you're in some kind of protecting the public kind of role. It could be military or something. If it is something like that, thank you for your service, sincerely. But I feel this protective vibe with you, that you definitely take up the cause for someone else, for the underdog, for whoever you feel kind of needs your strength and your assistance. You know what I mean? And this could be just that you're always standing up for the little guy, or the underdog, or the people that are getting bullied, or the people that need the social justice, that they need as many of us as possible to be on their side, to stand up for what is right. Okay, now I don't know if it's on a large scale or if it's on a really small scale. It could be literally that you just, you're always protecting your younger sibling or something like that. You know what I mean? But I get this protective vibe with you, that you tend to be a rather kind of a rather passive person, kind of a quiet person, right? But when you see any kind of bullying or injustice, or any kind of an unfair fight, I think you're always ready to, you get activated and you rush to someone's defense. And that's a very admirable quality, for sure. And I wonder if this is in some way connected with this, we're calling the water sign person, with that person in the recent past. Maybe it is someone that you kind of, you had to stand up for recently, or in the past, I would say a few months at the most. But it does feel like it's someone that you've known before, but it's still a new relationship. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of confusing energy to me. That's why I say it's someone that maybe came back into your life, or someone that maybe you were childhood friends, you haven't talked to them in years, and then they're here now, something like that. But I don't think they're here anymore. I think that you've been building up these walls, and they're on the outside of these walls, okay? And you're starting to kind of realize maybe or suspect that it's probably for the best that they're outside your walls, right? Not inside your home, your castle, your domain, I guess the next card that we could touch on is, well, let's go to the near future. This is the Eight of Swords. And I think that what this is kind of talking about is a lot of misinformation coming your way. I think that if you are led to investigate this a little bit, or think more about it, or talk about it with other people, I think you're going to come out more confused than enlightened. Okay? I think that worrying about this issue is going to just kind of tangle you up in this web of uncertainty, kind of a web of lies even, really, right? Because you don't know which information to trust. And that's the vibe I'm getting with the Eight of Swords, is that you're going to look deeper into this, but it's not going to bring you any kind of clarity. It's not going to bring you any kind of satisfaction or resolution. You're not going to feel like you've understood a damn thing, to be honest with you. And I see that it's going to really be kind of hindering your actions into the future instead of helping you along. So the idea with this is to get stuck in this Eight of Swords is going to prevent a lot of future progress. It's going to prevent you from continuing along with whatever kind of path you're on. If this is something related to the home, if it's your health, it may be something at the workplace, something related to your income. By diving too deeply into this particular situation, this past, whatever kind of caused this, is not going to bring you any closer to fulfilling your goals. You're going to be stuck in place or taking a step back rather than moving forward. So this is the potential future outcome. Okay? This is what it could be in the near future, I think. You might start to get wrapped up in this a little too tightly. Right? Misinformation coming in, more confusion, more questions than answers. Right? And I don't know if this is really where you want to stay. Could be that you get into this a little bit and you realize what a mess it is, and you kind of bypass it. You go a different direction. The next card that I see beneath the Path of the Dove, the very bottom, underneath it all, foundational card, is this Four of Wands. This is a card that's talking about the completion of a cycle. It's like you have this real ability to learn from your past experiences, and not just in a cliched kind of way, right? Not just in a general way. You can say that about everybody. I think we all, in some way, learn from our experiences, right? Whether that learning helps us or hinders us in the future that's the variable. But you're the type of person that can take an event like this, a set of circumstances, an experience like this, and you really have this ability to extract the kind of the kernels of wisdom from it. You learn to really extract like the core, like the source code almost. And then you're able to implement that into your life in a very strategic way. Do you know what I mean? Am I explaining that right? It's not just a general, oh, okay, you've learned from this experience and you'll be sure down the road to kind of remember this and not let it play out the same way again. No, you go beyond that, and it really is a very systematic and strategic kind of thing with you. That's why I kind of get this military vibe with you. And again, if you are, thank you for your service. You're able to extract those kernels of wisdom, that source code, and implement it into your new kind of your new strategy, your new like operating procedure. You know what I mean? And that's the vibe I'm getting from the Four of Wands here. This Four of Wands is also talking about knowing when is enough, knowing when to wrap up that cycle, knowing when to really like close the jacket on that experience, that event, that, you know, whatever it was that we're talking about here, whatever it was that happened, this hit, this loss. And I think this is going to get you through what could be a really tangled investigation kind of thing, because you know when to just kind of close the book on it. You know, write it off. You've extracted the source code the best that you can. But I think if you get tangled up in here looking for a deeper knowledge, looking to satisfy your own kind of curiosity or your own pride, you know what I mean? If you feel like you were wronged or deceived in some way, then you really want to get to the bottom of that. But honestly, you've already taken everything you could from this situation, and regardless of what details may or may not come out from this, you've already got the, you know, that source code, right? I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over with the analogies today. So you know when to wrap it up. And I think that once you have gained all of that you can from this situation, it's time to close the jacket and move on, right? Close the book on it, move to something else. As we're going to do right now, like that segue, right? We're going to move to the path of the serpent now. I just want to say that, you know, these tarot cards are always correct. You know, you get a lot of tarot readers that they don't really show you the cards that they're looking at, right? And I don't know if I would call them tarot readers, to be honest with you. Because the point of this all is for you to connect with these cards. Okay? These cards are always correct. None of these cards was incorrectly drawn out of the deck. I don't care if I dropped all 78 cards and randomly picked up a couple of them. Those are your cards. Those are meant for you and for me. But as the messenger, I might not be able to associate each of these cards with your exact circumstances. So that's why I ask you to connect directly with the cards, with the images and the energies. Okay? It's very important, I think, in a tarot reading. And keep your eyes open if you hear other tarot readers, you know, giving you that advice or that instruction. That's someone, I think, that knows their tarot. Because it's important for you to connect with this and use your own intuition, again, to kind of go beyond just what I'm saying, right? Connect directly with these. Anyway, enough of that. 5 of Wands. I think that you have this... You have a bit, you know, I said before that you were kind of this passive person, not passive in a negative way, and I don't mean to be insulting. I just mean that you're very reserved, very in control, very calm, collected, composed, right? But when your superpowers are needed, you can click them on like that. Okay, and that's kind of the alternate to, we were talking about the 7 of Wands, right? Which is kind of this passive, but if you see somebody that's in need, you know, your friend, family member, a complete stranger, a teammate, whatever, you can activate quick. And you can also do that in defense of yourself too. I don't want to seem like you're just kind of there serving everyone else. There is a lot of that feeling as well, which we talked about with that 7, but now with the 5. This is really in defense or advocating for yourself, okay? So I feel like this is kind of going to be turned on a little bit in you this week. With whatever this incident was, whatever this set of circumstances was, the reason why you're in this restoration phase of things, okay? For whatever reason you have to rebuild, again, either your health, your home, your financial situation, your reputation, whatever it is. It could be, you know, anything that's kind of related to the physical plane, all right? Whatever the reason is, or whatever you perceive to be the cause of that, is going to activate this kind of, this self-defense kind of energy in you. 5 of Wands, very, very strong and assertive energy that's ready to fight when it needs to. The idea, though, I think this week is that we're not really sure about things. And we don't quite know what the root causes are of what's going on. And I don't think we can get to the root cause. Again, with the Eight of Swords is kind of blocking our way. You know? And I don't think with all of this force and fire, I don't think we can just burn our way through that Eight of Swords to get to the real truth, the real clarity. Okay? But I think that's okay, because again, I think you've already extracted what you could, the wisdom that you could, the kernels of wisdom, the source code, if you will. And I don't think there's much more there. So even if you were to burn through all of this complication, it's not really going to be worth the effort. You're not going to be learning anything new. Okay? It may be that you just get further and further away from the actual clarity that you're looking for. So we don't know who this person is, if they're responsible for anything, if they had any kind of if they played any kind of a role in what's going on with you this week. Okay? It kind of is a situation where you got to just let it go. You got to do what you can within reason, then close the jacket on them. You know. Let's go to the next card, because this is really the one major arcana card that we had for you today. And so I think this is quite important. I don't know if there's an SH, like a sh sound with that person, if someone's name starts with an S or an SH. I'm hearing that. Maybe it could just be my own tinnitus or something, but I'm hearing that kind of a letter sound, so I don't know if that's ringing a bell, the S or SH sound. But in your environment, maybe related to this person, that we have this eon, this judgment, this baptism by fire kind of card. Whatever situation this is, I think it's a necessary step for you. And I think this incident, this set of circumstances, this event is a real transitional period for you. It may seem like something relatively minor. You know, I said at the beginning that it doesn't seem like it's really a big thing. There's not a lot of major arcana cards. It's just a lot of little decisions and little steps for you to take to kind of rebuild things and get on with your life. But I think through this experience, through not the physical rebuilding, but through all of the uncertainty, through the activation of this, you know, kind of fighting spirit, wanting to get to the bottom of this, not certain about this person, being a little suspicious of things and wanting the truth in the matter, I think that's going to be the real breakthrough for you. I think on the other side of this, you're really going to come to a new level of awareness. You know, this card is, I like to call it the baptism by fire. Okay, it's through these trials and tribulations and these struggles, through the real fire, through the real fights, that we level up spiritually, you know, physically, financially, whatever, emotionally. And so I see that this environment that you're in now, this one of a little suspicion, this kind of confusion, this uncertainty, this rebuilding and this restoration, that incident is your kind of flaming doorway to the next phase of your life, the new era for you. Okay. It could be something as simple as learning to temper this, well, maybe your temper. Temper your temper. It's that fiery energy maybe that is part of this learning experience. Learning that there needs to be something other than just on or off. There's a lot in between 0 and 100. You know, there's varying degrees that you can turn to rather than just going full bore when something arises. You know, it doesn't always require the extreme reaction, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Whatever this learning experience is, though, whatever the other side of this doorway is, I feel like this incident, this week, this set of circumstances is like this kind of flaming portal, this baptism by fire for you. So I really feel like there's a lot waiting for you on the other side. Okay. And I'm still getting that S or SH name. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's the water sign person back there. I don't know. The next card, though, we see a 5 of pentacles, discs, or coins. We've got a lot of good earth energy related to you and your character and your, the events right now for you. Okay, and this is in the position of your fears, worries, and concerns. I think that you're someone who really does have a really like hands-on attitude with your own finances, your own physical health. I wonder if this is more health and wellness than it is financial, to be honest with you. Because I'm getting a feeling now that you are responding to this incident by hitting the gym twice as hard, and it could be like hitting the job twice as hard. You know what I mean? You're doubling your efforts to rebuild this thing, to rebuild it stronger and better and able to resist whatever the root causes here were. So I feel like there's a lot of effort, and I feel like you're really putting in, you're going the extra mile, maybe hitting the gym twice as hard or putting in the extra hours at work or just hustling a little more in your own business or whatever the case is. I feel like you're really putting in the more effort. Okay, with this Five of Pentacles. And I feel like that's really part of your standard responses, your standard operating procedures, right? Because we had this 5, this is like, it's either a 0, like with your force and your fire, right? It's either kind of a 0, cool, or it's right at 100. It's either off or it's fully on, And I think that's kind of the response that we have here with this 5. It's either things are calm, stable, kind of just chilling, and then you switch it on like this, and it's you spend every waking moment working at the gym or at work or hustling, or it's really like an on or off kind of situation here too with the physical activity. All right. But this is a good quality, right? Like it's better to have this and not need it than to not have it when it's necessary, But I think part of the idea here is learning about the stages in between, learning about the varying degrees of intensity that you can employ for certain circumstances, It's kind of that, when all you have is a hammer, I guess, everything looks like a nail, My ear started ringing here. Maybe it is the tinnitus. I'm still getting that SH sound. Maybe I should see the doctor. No, I'm kidding. I'm fine. The final card is this 4 of Cups. Now, this is, to me, the kind of calm steadiness. This is, I think, what's coming. Because we had a lot of 5s. We've got a lot of 4s, too, right? So the 4s are kind of the more balanced, calm, steady, stable, secure, safe energies, okay? We had the 4 of Wands. We've got the 4 of discs or pentacles to kind of combat the 5s, the 7s, the 9s, right? All those odd numbers. We've got the even numbers to kind of to balance that out. So I think there's going to be a nice balance, safety, security, stability in your physical, either health and wellness or financially related to your home, the physical environment. There's going to be some safety, stability, security in your power, your energy, your vitality, your kind of your temper in a way, right? You're feeling that you need to just kind of activate and fight whatever this is. So there's going to be kind of a resolution there, a calmness that comes there, and then emotionally too. And I think in terms of your inner harmony, your peace, your kind of Zen-like demeanor, I think is going to be there, and it's going to be there's going to be a period of this nice calm that washes over you, and I think it's kind of through processing this energy. It's whatever is through this doorway, this baptism by fire, this portal. On the other side of that is going to be this real Zen-like quality for you. I think it's a real calm that washes over you. I think this is going to be some real peace in your life, a peace and a calmness, an acceptance of the circumstances. Now, the 4 of Cups, I'm sure you'll hear people say, oh, that's a terrible card. But there are no terrible cards in the tarot, right? And this maybe is part of the lesson that we're trying to learn, is that things aren't just yes or no, black or white. There's a lot of shades in between. So depending on the circumstances, yeah, this card could be too much passivity, too much complacency. It could be too much just pessimism and disappointment, too much stagnation. But I don't think you have a problem with stagnation. I think that you have the ability, like I've been saying, to turn things on just like that. You're going from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. So this is a little bit of peace and calm that I think we need at the end of the day. And so I think getting through all of this energy, you're really going to end up in a nice, peaceful, calm place with things. Okay, we saw a lot of the 4s here, and I think those are the important kind of outcomes here. But let's look at this mystery card, because I don't really have much of a speculation on what this could be. It could be some more earth energy. It could be something more water related, because there wasn't a lot of water cards. I'm happy that we're ending the Path of the Serpent with this water card, the 4 of Cups. Nice balance, nice calm. Let's take a breath. Peaceful, kind of Zen-like, right? And I think that's needed after all of this energy. But let's see what the confirmation might be. So we've got the 8 of Swords again. I think it's going to be difficult for you to let this go. I think there's still going to be a lot of unknowns, a lot of uncertainty. And these 2 cards are the same card, right? The 8 of Swords, as it's called in the Antique Anatomy, the 8 of Blades. And I think you're going to have a problem letting go of this uncertainty. It really bugs you that you're not really going to know exactly what went down, what happened, who was involved, where they were, who their associates are. It's that investigative instinct in you. And again, that's why another reason, I should say, why I'm feeling this kind of law enforcement or military vibe with you. And if you are, thank you for your service. But I think that's going to be the main struggle for you, is just letting go of the uncertainty and not getting wrapped up in this complexity, in this search for details, search for, all of the facts. I don't think it's possible for you to get all of the facts in this situation. It'd be a lot of speculation, a lot of hearsay, a lot of uncertainty left at the end of the day. So don't let this ruin this kind of peace and this Zen-like demeanor that we're getting at the end of the day. You're going to find your mind going back to these little details, and that's what's going to trip you up. That is what is going to, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot a little bit if you can't let this go. Okay, I feel like that's the biggest struggle for you there. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this a little bit in the extended. If you want to stick around, click on the link that is right up there, and you can have access to all of the extended readings. Okay. And be sure to join at the Serpent level if you want the extended readings. The Dove level is a way for you to say thank you and become a supporting member of the channel. But the extended readings open up at that Serpent level, okay? And I try to keep it as cheap as possible, right? We're all struggling. Anyway, this was your weekly reading for January 29th through February 4th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Thank you so much for letting me read for you.